The Hadza tribe is a modern hunter-gatherer people found in northern Tanzania. With a population of about 1,300, the people are regarded as one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer tribes on earth. Also known as Hadzade, the Tanzanians have a peculiar lifestyle that has remained the same for many years despite Western influences. With a highly conservative way of life, it is not closely related to any other tribe or people. However, their language, Hadza, was once classified as a Khoisan language. It was later thought to be isolated and unrelated to any other. The language is entirely oral. Aside from their mother tongue, some Hadza have adopted Swahili as a second language. Here is a brief history and language of the Hadza tribe. The Hadza tribe is a native ethnic group located in the southwest Karatu district of the Arusha region. They lived around Lake Eyasi in the Central Rift Valley and also in the neighboring Serengeti Plateau. They are the descendants of Tanzania's Aboriginal pre-Bantu expansion hunter-gatherer population. The Hadza still pursue almost the same lifestyle as their ancestors did in the early 20th century. The culture and tradition of the Hadza people. Hadza's oral history is divided into 4 generations. Each generation is said to have a different culture. The Hadza's tradition believes that at the beginning of time, the world was inhabited by hairy giants called the Akakanebis, which translates to first ones. According to the second account, the Akakanebis were succeeded by the Zazanebis, which means the in-between ones, who were also gigantic but not hairy. These giants lived in caves and were the first in Hadza's history to use medicine and charms to protect themselves from enemies. The third generation was inhabited by the people of the Hamakwanebis, which means recent days. They were smaller than the Zazanebis. They invented bows and arrows and also invented gambling, among other things. The Hadza people are in the 4th generation. The inhabitants are called the Hamayishonebis, which means those of today. The Hadza territory has been threatened in recent years due to increasing encroachment from their neighboring tribes. Nevertheless, the Hadza people have no permanent settlement. Once they camp in a particular place, they create temporary settlements and shelters with dried grasses and branches. The Hadza tribe is monogamous. In the culture of the Hadza people, there is no social enforcement of monogamy on the Hadza people. Also, there is no marriage ceremony as a couple is declared married after spending several nights together at a fireplace. After the marriage, the husband and wife are allowed to live anywhere they chose. It can either be with the mother's family or the father's family. Reports have shown that most Hadza couples tend to live with the mother's family. Before marriage, there are traits that Hadza men and women sometimes look out for in a partner. Some of the traits include physical attractiveness, averageness, and also sexually dimorphic voice pitch. Childbirth. It has been speculated that childbirth in the Hadza community is rather odd. The women simply give birth by squatting in the bushes. For that reason, life expectancy is very low within them. Research has shown that most Hadza babies hardly survive their first year and very few make it to age 15. Due to extreme heat and frequent thirst, the babies hardly survive. Those that survive later get infected by flies and mosquitoes. The Hadza people call men Epeme. Apparently, Hadzani refers to adult men as Epeme. However, there are certain things a man must do and certain rites he must perform before he is called an Epeme. As an Epeme, the men are permitted to eat certain parts of large animals such as giraffes, wild beasts, lions, and buffaloes. The men are made to eat only some parts of the animals such as the kidney, neck, genitals, and the heart. During the meat eating, non-Epeme men are not allowed to be present. Aside from the meat eating, the Epeme men also take part in an Epeme dance. The dance takes place every night when the moon is not visible, and it must take place in complete darkness. The man dances wearing an ostrich feather headdress, a black cape with bells around the ankles. Religious beliefs. Unlike many African tribes, the Hadzades do not have any beliefs as regards the afterlife. They do not believe in any divinity, but believe in a presence that manifests itself in the sun. However, they practice their ancestors' worship and believe in their presence in the form of ghosts. For that reason, people do not have religious rituals, Similarly, they do not have any form of social obligations, even funerals. In the Hadza community, corpses are sometimes buried or left in the open for hyenas to eat. Once a person dies, they change their camp, dressing style. The Hadza women are known for wearing pieces of clothes in form of skirts. These are made from the soft skin of female impala. They decorate their clothes with beads, belts, and cowrie shell. Young Hadza men and boys wear skins of animals in form of loincloth. The Hadza people have a healthy diet. They do not grow or store their food. They only survive by hunting foodstuffs, which is usually done by using handmade bows. Their diet has been considered very healthy since it is mainly organic and natural. This is primarily plant-based and contains high level of fiber. This is said to be the reason why the Hadza experience almost no autoimmune disease such as obesity, diabetes, colon cancer, and other chronic diseases. The Hadza adjust their diet based on the season and circumstances. Also, their location sometimes determines what they will feed on. There is a division of labor among the Hadza men and women. While men specialize in hunting meat and honey, their women gather honey and other small animals and eggs. Aside from hunting, the Hadza engage in gathering activities a lot, which is usually taught from childhood. The myth about the relationship between the Hadza people and a wild bird. There is a myth about the relationship between a wild bird and the Hadzades. It is believed that the bird guided the people to wild bees to harvest honey. The men who harvest the honey are always very attentive to the bird's chatter. Once the honey hunter has located the bee nest, the hunter uses smoke to subdue the bees and axes it down. In order to attract the honey guide in the future, the Hadza hunter burns and buries the remains in order to keep the honey guide hungry. It is known that honey is a significant part of the Hadza diet. If there are any facts about the Hadza tribes that we left out, please let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.